Okay, here we go. Who wears a green shirt in front of a green screen? Okay, yeah, so this is going to be a little bit of a different video than I normally do. Because I want to talk to you guys about like self-image, mood, the way you perceive your own work, because nobody hates your work the way you do. Nobody's going to ever be as horrible to you the way that you will be. And so I just want to talk a little bit about attitude and the way it will always squash your potential. So I'm going to walk you through a few of my words. I'm going to walk you through a few pieces of my work and let you see some of my old work and some of my newer work, and kind of help you understand like where I was, where I am now, and where I think I will be in the future. And I think it's a really good point to instill into you is think not only about where you are now, look at like where you were as an artist, you know, a year ago, a few months ago, even. Like really think about that. Like think about where you're going to be. And I'm not saying like, oh, I'm going to be a rich millionaire. Oh, I'm going to be so covered in all the money. That's not what I'm saying. Think about what you're going to work on. Envision the things that you're going to improve upon. Make a plan for what you're going to do to get yourself better than you were today. And let me show you the path that I made. It took me a while to understand that visioning process, that looking at where I am and having an honest discussion, and instead of beating myself up over my artwork. Oh, my artwork is so terrible. I hate it. No one would hire me. I went from that to, okay, well, this is what I created because this is what I could see. This is what I could do. And now that I look at it in an honest light, these are the areas of critique that I'm bringing up to myself, and here's where I want to be. This is what I want to improve upon going forward. So yeah, okay. So here's this one was bad. This elf. First of all, like, what is this skin tone? Right? It's like the greenest, grossest skin tone ever. And like this fur texture that I had going on was like just so like just it was a fur brush, and I didn't do anything but just spam the hell out of that. I used some tree brushes in the background, and you can really see the difference in what was painted and what was basically what amounts to a rubber stamp in the background. It looks horrible, right? And it's very noticeable. It's very abrasive. There's also not a lot of difference between the white of this wolf, this dire wolf, and the white that's back here. So you don't really get a sense of depth. Everything looks really flat. It looks really gross. The wolf also, like his feet, if you look at like, so if we're supposed to be underneath this person, because like here's the horizon line, right? So if her head's not the horizon line, then we're underneath, we're looking up, which that's fine. But you know, like it just doesn't, none of this wolf would be like super long legged or either super stumpy legged in order for this to work, if she was like kneeling or something. But either way, this just doesn't work. There's just a lot of things here that I thought was going to come together, and I spent a long time working on this to make this subpar image. Just something that I shouldn't have settled with this. You know, you can see like right here, the little red light that I added. I was really trying my best to show that I understood how this light worked, like the glow on the face and the arms. And so it's like, it was a nice try, but I didn't really know what I was doing, right? So moving on. Oh, yeah, I know a good one. So this is another one. This is from like a year or 2 years ago. No, more than that, maybe 2.5, something like that. Time, what is it? And this is supposed to be kind of like a Lovecraftian scene where there's like this archway out in the middle of the jungle, and this guy comes across it, and like this like crazy horror comes out of it. And I did want it to be kind of like campy and like very pulpy looking. Pulpy. For the most part, I really love the idea, I love the concept here of the guy, but like he's that close and he's barely reacting at all. The gesture of this is sad. The anatomical put together of this man is awful. Look at his butt is like halfway through his thigh. And then this thing here got them kissy lips, which is fine, but whatever. And I spent a long time making these suckers, and like they just don't. Like I kind of got the lighting okay. Like you can see here where the light is brighter on this side, so the lighting would be coming from here. But I didn't really include a sun to make that work. The sun, it's an actual thing out there. So like this lighting scheme doesn't work because there's no. The sun should be back here. I should see that. That was a silly mistake. And also doesn't really like play as well in like the background here. Like this just doesn't. It doesn't quite respond to the lighting scenario that I'm suggesting here. So again, lots of mistakes. I probably could have done better to lower like the hyper texture additions here and make it more painterly. Again, I relied on tricks instead of understanding. So anyway, next. This one. So some things went right, some things went really, really, really wrong with this. So this was from like 5 years ago, I think, something like that. Quite a while ago. Again, relying on tricks. You can see like all the textures on the armor and the skin of the orc or whatever. I'm really, really hoping that those will save me on this image. The background is just a travesty. It just really doesn't work. There's not enough depth to it that actually works. No real rendering to speak of. Like none of these things actually look like trees. Like this tree over here just doesn't have like foliage finished over here. The castle, again, relying on stone textures to do the work for me instead of actually making something that makes sense. But I just couldn't see it. I didn't know. The compositionally, this also doesn't make any sense. Yeah, granted, her head is at like horizon height, so we're looking at this orc is pretty tall, or it's like right next to us, right? But like this just doesn't work, right? This just doesn't come together. We're not really seeing the action. Her gesture is almost okay, but it just feels really gross. It's just there's just so much here, and the build and the anatomy of the face. She's definitely a potato. Definitely a potato. Just there's a lot of problems with this here of just things of I didn't study enough. I thought this was ready to show people. I thought there was good things going on here. I was relying on tricks and gimmicks, and through it all, I wasn't honest about this work. I was just mad. I was like, this work sucks, and I'm bad, and but I'm gonna keep pushing this work out because I want somebody to pay me because I was more worried about that, and so I was getting turned down for a lot of work, and rightly so. Good on you for not hiring me. Call me. There's just a lot of little like just like silly problems, things I didn't understand. And all the while I'm beating myself up over this work, and then my work sucks, and I'm a terrible artist. Nothing could be further from the truth. The fact of the matter is I was really close on a lot of things, and I just needed somebody to give me a little push, get me over the edge, help me see what I'm not seeing. And that's where a lot of you are going to be at too. You're just not seeing what you need to see. And this is a piece that I'm working on right now, and it's fine. It's good. It's the lighting's better. The anatomy's better. I worked really hard on a lot of this here. It's not done yet. It's not done yet. We're still working on stream. But you can see so much more understanding, and it was just because like I just had to learn. I just had to see more. I had to do more. I had to practice. I had to get there, and I got there, and I'm getting there, and I can see where I'm going to be in a year from now. I pretty much think that what I need to work on now is like a little bit more of like angular compositions, trying to get more dimensionality in my photos, layering things more, trying to get more dynamism in the poses, trying to get more expression in the characters. I also want to work really hard on my anatomy. I think it's something I'm going to do my entire life, as long as I'm painting. We did a study on some hands, and granted, this is just a study, so it's super rough. But even though it's like super rough and there's some problems in here, like I'm looking at this and I'm going, what can I learn from this? What can I do? I'm not beating myself up over this because this isn't the most hyper realistic looking hands. I'm actually really proud of the fact that like I looked at the reference, use your reference, and I made something that like it works. I can see where I can learn from this. There's a lot of understanding, and if I keep doing these kind of references or reference studies, I will get better, and these things will become part of my language and my vocabulary of drawing. And when I go to draw and paint in the future, these things will come with me, and that's the whole thing. Is that like this artwork here that I did of this ocean god guy. Look at the crab in the background, and like this like shadow where it goes in the, like I'm actually super proud of that, like the most of anything in this whole photo and this whole image, because that's a little detail that I don't think I would have ever gotten in the past, but something came along with me from doing other bits of art. And like you can see, like I'm using the same like shadow style on the underbellies and the other parts of the crabs out in the other bit of the water. And while none of these crabs are rendered out like super realistically, they don't have to be for this image. It doesn't, them being super tightly detailed would be bad for this image. It would take away the depth of field. And I know that from having worked on other pieces. I've got my better rendering and my sharper rendering on the subject I want you to look at, and I left it loose on the other stuff. Could there be more? And I'm sure in a year from now, I'm going to look back at this and be like, whoa, there's some serious issues with this. I'm looking at it now and going, whoa, there's some serious issues with this. But again, for the time, this was what I could do. This is what I could see. And then once it's been released and once it's done, I have time to be like really happy with this. And I have time to really sit there and go, hey, like, this was fun. I did this. This is a moment in time for me. This is a moment for my artwork. And I'm gonna take it for what it is. But this proves a point of what I need to work on going forward. And I know there's some of you that are gonna be like, yeah, you're right, Dave. Like, get on my level. And there's gonna be others of you that are gonna be like, what are you talking about? This is amazing, Dave. I wish I could do that. I could never do that. And I say, bull crap, bull crap, bull crap. Don't lie. You can do it. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm an idiot. You're not. Or you might be. I don't know. I don't know who's watching this. But I'm assuming you're not an idiot. You can do all this stuff here, but you have to change your mentality. You have to stop saying that you wish you could or you can't. It's you will or you won't. You have an interest in doing it or you don't. There's nothing inherently broken about you as a person that you can't do art like this. You have to just teach yourself. You have to train yourself to go through it. And there are legitimate shortcuts to learning. Take on a mentor. Take on a coach, somebody that can help you out. Ask questions, get feedback. Take the feedback. Take the critiques. And keep working. Keep plugging away at it. Don't stop, if you really want to get better. Surgeons aren't born, the baby's born, like, oh, he's going to be a surgeon because he's already doing operations. No, it doesn't work that way, does it? You wouldn't let a baby work on you. Well, I guess maybe if you don't have insurance. The point being, the baby isn't born like that. That's not realistic. Doesn't happen. You are not going to be a perfect artist off the bat. Nobody is. Even the people that just seem to kind of get it faster than you, they only got it faster. They don't just have it. They still had to work at it. They still had to produce the work. They still had to do it. Might have come a little bit easier for them, but that's okay. Because there's things that have come really easy for you in your life. And you're kind of like, wow, like, I can't believe you couldn't scramble eggs, you dope. And then it's just a matter of some people have that gift of getting there faster. But again, they still have to work at it. You still got to work at it. And if you need help, I want you to reach out to me. You have my contact information, my website, everything down below. You can comment, subscribe for more. This was just kind of like a, hey, getting you pumped up jam session of knowing that you can do this. I'm going to get better. You're going to get better as long as you're willing to put in the work. And I am. And I want you to work along with me. Watch me on live stream, Twitch information down below. Watch me here on YouTube. Get in my Discord. Follow me on my website. Follow me on my social media details down below as well. And let's work together on getting better at something. If you have a passion for it, or if you just want to obtain a passion for it, there's a way to do it. There's a way to get better faster, and we can work on it together. But just know that there's nothing about you that stops you. If you can pick up a pencil, if you can pick up a paintbrush, if you have a stylus in your hand, like, you can do this. It's time. And we can work on it together at whatever pace you want to. So I believe in you, and just, paint through the pain. Paint through the pain, my friends. Draw, paint, bacon. I'll see you guys on the next one, and I promise to get a little bit more tutorial content on the next video. This was just something that was kind of on my heart because I get so many people in the Twitch chat that are saying like they can't do it, and I just kind of wanted to say once and for all, yes, you can. We just got to work on it together. So anyway, I love you guys. Take care. We'll see you on the next. And as always, may you all walk with a light heart and a song in your step. Bye. Oh, that was dumb.